In this video, we're going to take a look at the domain and range homework part 2. So these graphs do not have any arrows, but they do have some open circles that we're going to deal with. Let's look at graph number, zoom out a little bit actually, we'll do 1 and 2 at the same time. And 3 and 4. So starting with graph number 1, for our domain, we want to build those walls on the left side and the right side of our graph. So my entire graph exists between those two walls. The left wall is at -5. See that because it passes through the -5. Because the right wall is on the y-axis, that's going to be 0. Both walls went right through an open circle. So my domain is -5, 0. My range, bottom of my graph, is at -5. The top of my graph is at +5. Both went through open circles, so I have -5, +5 in parentheses. Now, is this a function? This one is a function. Say yes. Because I can draw a vertical line anywhere on this graph and only have it touch one spot of the graph. So let's say right here, it only touches the graph there. If I move the vertical line over here, it only touches the graph over here, but only ever at one location. See, graph number 2. My domain goes from -2 to +2. Both walls touched open circles only. So those are going to be parentheses. My range, the bottom of my graph is at +2. Notice that does not touch an open circle at all. So that's going to be a bracket. The top at 4 touches an open circle and then another open circle. So that'll be a parentheses. Bracket 2, 4, parentheses. This one is also a function. I can draw that vertical line anywhere on this graph. It only touches one spot. So yes, function. Number 3, let's place our walls. The left wall is at -4. The right wall is at +5. The left wall goes through an open circle. The right wall does not. So we'll have a parentheses on the left and a bracket on the right. The bottom of the graph is at -2, going straight through an open circle. Top of the graph, +3, no open circle. So -2, +3, parentheses and a bracket. This one is also a function because of that vertical line test. If I move a vertical line through the graph, it only ever touches at one point the entire time. Now for number 4, the left side of my graph is here at -4. Watch how I move this line down though. It touches an open circle, but then it touches a closed circle, canceling that open circle out. So this is going to be a bracket. The right side of my wall is at -2, no open circle, so also a bracket. -4, -2. The bottom of my graph is at 0, right on the axis, bracket. The top is at 4, going through that open circle, parentheses. Now, is this a function? The answer is no. If I put a vertical line through this graph, it touches that graph here and also down here. Because it basically pierces through it, that is not a function. So these are our answers for 1 through 4. Let's take a look at 5 through 8 now. Right now, I'm going to start off with identifying why these all are not functions. For 5, it was almost a function. But if I draw a vertical line right there, it passes through that vertical line here, here, and here at 3 different spots. So this one is going to be a no. For number 6, if I draw a vertical line there, it passes through here and here. That's also a no. Number 7, if I draw a vertical line right down the middle, it passes through it at 1 and at 0. So that's a no. And for 8, if I draw a vertical line, let's say here, it passes through my graph here and here. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 should all not be functions. Now that we've looked at why they're not functions, we can determine the domain and range. Put these no's back in. So number 5, domain. We have the left wall at -5, open circle, the right wall at +4, closed circle. So -5 with the parentheses, 4 with the bracket. The range, we start down here at -4, open circle, end at +5, closed circle. So -4 parentheses, 5 bracket. For 6, this was similar to number 4. The left side of our graph passes through -4, going through an open circle, but it cancels out with the closed circle. So that is a bracket. And then goes through 0 on the other side. -4, 0. The bottom of my graph is located at -2, closed circle, top at +2, open circle. So bracket at -2, parentheses at +2. For number 7, I start at -4 on the left. We end at +4 on the right. Both pieces were open circles, so parentheses. Bottom of the graph is at -3, and it only touches open circles, so that'll be a parentheses. The top is at +1 with a bracket. So for the +1, there's no closed circle there, but it's also not an open circle, so it is a bracket. And then lastly, for number 8, We start at 1 and we end at 5. 1 has no open circles, so that's a bracket. 5 goes through 2 open circles, so parentheses. And then the range. The bottom is at -4, open circle, so parentheses, top at +4, open circle. So again, parentheses. -4, +4. And that is it for this homework assignment.